cups. Guys, thank you for coming. I have a slight housekeeping change from our normal routine. I do have to beg you guys a favor, not that it's looking like this is an issue today, but I can't have anybody sitting on the tables anymore. It appears that because certain people abuse that privilege, they break. Now, I wouldn't put a weight requirement on it, but I think all of you would qualify if I did that. So rather than that, we have been asked to not have any people sitting on the table. So I appreciate it. And there are plenty of seats still available here. If you would like to sit in them or stand, please enjoy it however you would like to enjoy. This is 1 million cups. How many people are here for the first time this week? Nice. Well, welcome. Welcome, guys. As those of you who have been here know, this is your weekly event to hear about companies being built right here in Tampa Bay. Hopefully dynamic companies, scalable startups, innovative concepts, things that we as Tampa Bay residents can be proud of having here. And it is our chance to help them grow. We help them grow by, after their presentations, asking them questions, offering suggestions, connections, advice. Investment is always welcome, especially the kind that comes with no strings or equity in their companies. They love that if you guys have extra money. I would like to thank Cal Coffee. As you can tell by my dynamic speech this morning, I need some more of it, but we're working on that. I would also like to thank Marianne Bell, my co-organizer. Hello, Marianne. JJ Roberts, my other co-organizer. Hello, JJ. All right. Carly, who is responsible for the lovely emails you get every week telling you who is presenting here, telling you who did present here, and providing you contact information to them, links to the startup events we have coming up in our community, and generally all the information you need to be informed and passionate advocates for the startup community here. So thank you for that, Carly. Appreciate it. Most of all, though, I would like to thank you guys for coming. I would like to thank you in advance for telling your friends about 1 million cups, asking them if they would like to present here. The trick for us right now is, as some of you may have noticed, our website is having some issues. One of the things that they forgot to include in the redesign of that website is any place to leave us your contact information. So you might apply for presenting here, and unfortunately we have no way of contacting you. So as a temporary stopgap to mitigate that, if you will email to St. Petersburg at 1millioncups.com, that way we will actually have your contact information being able to reach out to you. I would like to thank our first presenter, Joe Malinowski, for his diligence. I am fortunate enough to have already had Joe's contact information, so I was able to get through to him. We appreciate that, but he is here this morning to present Tampa Bay's also. He has presented at 1 Million Cups Tampa before, and he is able to present at any of the 74 1 Million Cups across the country. Another benefit of presenting up here at 1 Million Cups. Joe, please.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for having me out today. My name is Joe Malinowski. I'm a marketing strategist with the M. David Katz Company. And about a year and a half ago, I just wanted to start doing some work with cities and municipalities and try to figure out ways to really expose and promote all the awesome stuff that Tampa Bay has going on for it. I don't know if any of you have tried to work with cities and municipalities before, but I very quickly found out that it is not going to be very easy. With that in mind, I really started looking at, and why I wanted to really start this was, I don't know if any of you have ever experienced this, but I feel like as Tampa Bay, we're not always super connected as a community. I mean, these are all the different groups and organizations that I'm a part of, my partners are a part of, and I kind of started to feel like we're just disconnected. It's either like St. Pete, Petersburg, Pinellas, Tampa. What is going on, and why don't we have anything that really encompasses us as a whole community? I think the best analogy I can give is if you were to think of Tampa Bay as a mall and all of the communities within it as the stores within that mall. Just like a mall, no one cares what store you go to unless you're coming to theirs. And I just kind of found that there was an issue with that, and found that what if there was one company that helped do the marketing for all of the stores as well as for the mall itself. So with that idea, Tampa Bay is Awesome was born. I like to think of Tampa Bay is Awesome is to Tampa Bay what Disney World is to all of its amusement parks. All of these icons actually represent Facebook pages that we've created, and they are all substantial communities. So like Disney World, they got all their different entities that they have going on. Disney World is actually just like the region. All of these different communities that they created market for themselves. They market to specific demographics and families and kids. They all have their own plan. And then Disney World just markets everybody because that's what they do. That's kind of the concept that I wanted to move forward with. I figured Disney's done a pretty good job at it. Why don't we kind of use some of that model and really help promote the whole community as one area that people don't need a passport to cross bridges, and they can enjoy all different areas. They can go to Dunedin one weekend, Tampa the next, St. Pete, the beaches, whatever it is they want to do. Proving the concept over the last couple of years now, I did launch Downtown Tampa is Awesome in August of 2013 to kind of just see if what my ideas would actually take effect and start working. So they did very well. We incorporated in September of 2014, and then we have a little bit over, I don't know where I should stand here. I feel like I'm blocking you, but am I in the camera?
There you go.
Yeah, you're in the
This is
camera.
better? Sorry. So Yummies is now over 130,000 followers. Cumulatively between all of our Facebook pages. We do have accounts on the other social media profiles, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Anything outside of Facebook is just Tampa Bay is Awesome. It's 9 different pages there to try to manage 9 different accounts on every platform would probably drive me nuts. So, but we do have a team that's helping continue to build that. I really want us to stay and maintain have the ability to be a non-biased promotional tool. So here's just an example of what we've done in St. Pete here. We've got a great relationship with Chris over at the Chamber and the staff. We started it back in January. We invested $1,200. That page now has 16,000 likes and over 1.5 million post impressions. So what we do gets massive engagement on a regular basis. If any of you have a Facebook page or a business page, you probably notice when you make a post, you might get in front of a couple hundred people, maybe a very small percentage of your total audience. Everything that we post gets in front of maybe 10, 20, 50, over 100% of our audience because we just know how to build and how to engage in a different type of way. Here's where our revenue model really has come down to. We have a $17 a month sponsorship for like local businesses, bars, restaurants, just people that want to be exposed toward the community. Probably you're saying to yourself, it's too cheap. My objective was for it to be a stupid number. Typically when I talk to people, they laugh. That's the exact reaction I intended to get because no one's going to argue with me. I don't want to have a $100 sponsorship and now someone's calling me every month. What did you do? Have you done this? Can you come do this for us? Like $17, they're going to get a huge value. We talk about them. We post about them. We come shoot videos if they have a cool event they want us to be at. I really want it to be something we can over-deliver on. And if they're not going to be super engaged, they still don't feel like they're getting ripped off or anything like that. We have event listings that we'll put out. $30, we're going to increase it to $50 over the next couple of months. And this is something, this number is not set in stone. We're actually probably going to launch it in July, not June. So we have the different types of articles that we create. I never wanted to be like a best of anything. The only language, I don't know if you've noticed, but I use the word awesome a lot. So it's 10 awesome brunches, 5 awesomeness, and the reason for that is people are going to go and respond, you forgot this place is great too. The canned responses, I know they're great, I just didn't eat there last month, and no one on the team ate there, so we'll include them in the next round. Like we appreciate all areas of the community, so the sponsorship is one person we're thinking can sponsor all the articles we create, and another person all the videos we create. Probably create 10, 15 videos a month. We just launched a video for the entire community that's got our 50,000 views right now. We did it in conjunction with Visit St. Pete Clearwater, Visit Tampa Bay, a bunch of the other organizations, Dolly Museum, Larry Park Zoo. It's really made something big, fun that everybody can feel a part of. But they can sponsor events articles, restaurant locations. Municipalities, again, this is a number that's not set in stone. We get kind of different support from different types of organizations, so like the City of Tampa, the City of St. Pete, Chambers of Commerce. They all support us in different ways. We show them, listen, whatever number you choose to help contribute and help grow with our audience, I'll show you exactly what that's going to yield us on a monthly basis. But the real ancillary benefits are, consulting clients. The bigger dollar ticket for us is real estate. I figured this out completely by accident. We had a real estate company sponsoring our page for $200 a month. I post about them twice. I have no desire to turn any of these concepts into just all real estate all the time. I will post no more than 2 pieces of information about real estate a month. But with their $200, we were driving thousands of visitors to their website. So I was like, oh, they're probably making a ton of money. If they closed one deal, they covered more than 2 years of their sponsorship. My partner with one of my pages happens to be a realtor. We just set up a secondary company, Home Finder Tampa Bay, to work and fulfill all of the different leads. So from a scalability side of things, I can go pop these concepts up all over the country, turn them into a lead source, have a real estate team to support it, and just be there focused on being a community advocate, promoter for the area. Real estate just happens to be kind of like a bonus bride product that fortunately does make us a lot more money. How you can help us out? Introductions to community leaders that you think see value in promoting us as one area. You've got outstanding people, Bill Edwards, Jeff Bennett, Gonsmart, who are doing such amazing things for the community. I think these are people that would kind of get behind stuff that we're doing just because I think that they've kind of stepped up and said, if other people aren't going to do it, we're just going to do it the way we want. It's kind of, I like to think of myself thinking on that kind of same level there, but small businesses who you think would see value on our pages, if you have small businesses or restaurants, bars, nail salons, we did some great stuff with Pure Nails recently, that video's coming out. We'd love to just help be that promotion tool for the community. So with that said, I really appreciate all of you listening to me for a few minutes here. You're at Tampa Bay is awesome. Have a lovely day.
Is this a model that is easily scalable in other metro areas?
Absolutely. Basically, my biggest hesitance and reluctance to say always is going to be that way is Facebook changes. They change the way that we run ads, they change the way that we grow pages, but if everything kind of maintains the same, it's an easy thing for us to go build, scale very quickly with not a lot of investment and just consistently be an advocate for any community.
So is this something you could see channel partnerships with other people and companies similar to maybe Pat's company in Cincinnati or Austin or whatever?
Absolutely. I think any area that kind of has that multiple pockets in their region that they want to try to get better connected, it can work from that side of things. Or even if they don't have different pockets, they just want to have something that is highly engaged, highly fun, that's not commercialized, that's just fun pictures, lovely things of the area. They absolutely continue to scale out.
Have you thought about doing like quarterly for corporation, for example, maybe have a tech for humanity, like have a program for 3 months for building houses. So you wouldn't need it all year, then even for like a quarter to be able to promote that or get volunteers.
That's a wonderful question. My other big passion behind it is I want it to be a nonprofit supporting tool as well. What we're actually going to do this Friday is I'm going to shoot a video over at the Humane Society. I don't know if this is going to be too much or perfectly fine with everything, but we're going to try to do a fundraiser with them. We're going to have like a t-shirt that people can get. The percentage of those proceeds will go to the Humane Society. Direct links if they wanted to donate. Also, we have a relationship with someone who does electronic recycling. So if people said, I have a computer that I can give away, a portion of those would go to them. So probably have like 5 or 6 different opportunities for people to benefit the Humane Society and kind of run that. We're thinking on a monthly basis, maybe quarterly, probably quarterly to start just to solidify it. But I'd love to be able to say at the end of the year, we gave $15,000 to these X number of charities. There's so many great things that all of them are trying to do in the community.
Thanks for a great presentation. I'd like to understand a little bit more about you. What you do before this? Is this your full-time job? Is this nights and weekends? Where are you in this cycle?
Absolutely. So strategic marketing consulting is kind of like my day-to-day. I've got 10 different clients that I work with on a regular basis. This has kind of become I'd say 25% of what my week is consisting of, but I built a team of interns that help manage everything. One of them is full-time on staff, not full-time, but is on staff for us. That's helping get all the content out there, helping schedule. We try to schedule our content out on all of the pages 1 month in advance, so we know something great is going up every day. And then as we're in, whoever's in whatever area that day, they're posting live stuff just to be fresh and be on time. So I think 20, maybe 30% some weeks while we were creating that video, if you go check out the video we created, that was all encompassing for 90 days trying to get that all over.
And what's the name of the full-time company behind this?
This is its own company. This is just my project that I kind of set off to be its own thing, just because I really love what we have as a community and wanted to be a tool for that. The company that we regularly work with is called the M. David Katz Company, and we're a strategic planning firm.
And that's your company or you're a member?
Yeah, I'm a partner of that company.
Real quick, and there was a t-shirt company here a few months ago that was basically taking the same communities and creating really fantastic looks on t-shirts. Are you connected with
No,
them?
I'm not familiar with them at all.
Do you remember who that was?
St. Pete Threads.
St. Pete
St.
Threads.
Pete Threads.
Seems like you guys ought to.
Yeah, that'd be very cool to connect them. Nice.
Just a plug for Joe, not a question, but 3 years ago, I used to have a bunch of restaurants downtown Tampa, if you remember, we were just figuring out the idea, we came in, did a fantastic video for us. So I recommend all small businesses to get in touch, he does great work, his team is fantastic. And that drove a ton of business for us, when we were downtown, so it's a great platform.
Thank you very much.
I'm kind of new to the area, so I was curious as to whether anything like this has been attempted before, maybe not even in a Facebook format, or just what your experience has been.
Well, there's existing pages that are like for their communities. Like I Love Downtown St. Pete,
Right.
I Love the Bird, which are doing an amazing job. There's everybody's kind of got their own thing that they just want to be in their little area, and I want to connect everything. I think that so many people have different stigmas of, I don't know how long you've been here, but
6 months.
you got your passports across the bridge yet, everybody says, it's a big deal going over this. And I'm like, I just got here, I live in downtown Tampa, I got here in 20 minutes. So showing people that you can go to the beach, you can go to downtown, you can go to St. Pete, enjoy everywhere that we have, because it all has different values.
But there's nothing like this already that's been attempted. I would think that from a marketing perspective of the area, someone would have tried to do this already, to try to.
So I have a good relationship with Chris Steinacher, the CEO of the chamber here, and he was with the Tampa Bay Partnership for 17 years. He's like, Joe, people are always trying to do it, but it's always kind of from like maybe a higher level of city, a government kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Clearly, trying to get all those people on the same page, I think is difficult. So that's why I just said, the heck with everybody. I'm just going to go do it because I know how to. If I have to invest some of my own time and money into it, let's build it up there and just then let everybody come around, which is what's kind of starting to happen. They're paying attention to what we're doing now.
Well, I think you came up with an awesome name.
Thank you very much. And from a marketing side, that's what I use with other clients. I mean, this statement is awesome. I mean, when you target people that already like something, it's much easier to convert them into participating and following. So, didn't do it unintentionally. Thank you very much.
So out of curiosity, how would you say you're different from the social media sites like I Love the Bird? Because I know that was recently, been bought out from the original people that posted it.
I think the biggest difference with us is I'm just about the community. If you have a restaurant or bar and you're just like, Joe, can you come help promote something? Like, I don't care if you're paying us or not. I just want to expose it. And then if they say, what typically happens is we'll go do a video like we did at Tandoori, and we didn't even have sponsorship back then. I just wanted content to share with our audience to show people what's going on in the areas. What always ends up happening is that bar owner or business owner says, how do you guys make money? I tell them about the sponsorship. They laugh. And I'm like, of course, just send me the link. So it's just an easy sales process for us. If I have to convince somebody to give us $17, I'm going to have to convince them to keep giving me that every month. And I just don't, I want it to be an effortless kind of thing where we're just left to our own devices to do the awesome stuff we're doing and just keep that growing. So,
Now, how did you come up with the $17 figure?
well, it's funny because it started at $12 and I was like, $12, like $17 is still silly enough that you can laugh at. I felt like once I got to like a $20 marker, at some point people would look at their credit card and say, what am I spending $20 a month on? But $17 kind of floats under there. I've seen some other companies that have done with incentives.
How many
businesses have you got involved at this point?
We have about just shy of 50 businesses right now as sponsors, and we have a relationship with Visit Tampa Bay and St. Pete Chamber, the South Tampa Chamber, which are all contributing in different ways as well. Then we got the back.
So what's the end vision for this company? When you look at this 5, 7, 10 years down the road, I mean, what do you see it being? Do you see yourself running it on a national scale? Do you see yourself getting to a certain point and having an exit strategy by being bought out by a larger player? I mean, where do you see this going along?
Really cool question. I would love to have like a seat at the table when they're talking about marketing the community. You know, when Visit Tampa Bay and Visit St. Pete Clearwater get together, like be a part of that conversation, be a part of that thought process. I think that's a little bit more like, I just like that. I like those conversations. From the business side of it, I would just, really love to drill down a little bit deeper than what we are right now, get really systemized, have it be just in a box kind of program that I can just go pop up in all these different areas throughout the country and just have lead systems going on there for the real estate side of it. And it gives me an opportunity to travel to those different cities and cultivate relationships with them and really be that advocate and that resource. So I just, every time I travel, I have a great time. I'm happy to go and start building these out of different areas as well. Yes, sir.
What's unique about Tampa Bay is Austin. It's awesome compared to Orlando, Miami. You go to that website.
Well, Orlando's
what
known
does it say
about
about it?
I think it's actually also with the question that she asked before is how is this different? A different concept than like Isle of the Berg and what these other places are doing. Orlando's got a ton of great stuff going on. I believe that we just approach it in a way that's only focused on the community. I've seen it become a tool to promote our local businesses. I get emails from our sponsors. I get emails from everybody that isn't participating when we post a link or a coupon or whatever. They see that immediate gratification. I think I could absolutely go do the same thing in Orlando. I don't think Orlando has, I've not seen this done where you've got one entity managing a bunch of different ones. That's really just trying to help promote and cultivate relationships with all of those different areas. If it's being done, if you find one, I would love to see it. I'm always, swiping different ideas. We run contests. We're trying to do more of this nonprofit stuff. Nonprofit side is really where I'm a little bit more focused right now. Is I want, it's been so long. I wanted to do it and I haven't done it yet. So I made that commitment. From that side, we actually have all the photography that we get. Not all of it. We have a lot of great photographers that have just said, listen, we have a system that can sell their photography. So it gives them an outlet to have that opportunity to sell it, and now a percentage of that, we don't make any money on it. A percentage of that goes over to the nonprofit, a percentage goes over to the photographer. So just I think our involvement in the community.
What's your reach footprint? I mean, is it strictly social media? Do you have partners in the media, in the city level, the government level? Where are you at right now with that?
Dominantly social media. We have some relationships with some of the cities. I don't want to say no one really cares about what we're doing yet. I think they're paying attention to it. They appreciate it. They see the value of what we're doing. I think, St. Pete, the city is going through a bunch of stuff where they're creating their own marketing campaign. Dunedin's doing the same thing. So it's almost a conversation like, how do we fit into what they want and what they do? And after hearing what everybody's trying to do and wants to do, I'm just going to keep doing it bigger and faster. It's kind of my philosophy. Like, I'm not waiting. I met with Chris in December. I said, Chris, I know you love the idea. Like, I know you want to participate with it. I'm not waiting. I'm just running. And he just like, just do it, and we'll catch up when we can. And that's just my philosophy. Just head down, get work done, and be effective as possible.
How do you envision your site being different or better than sites that are available, Creative Loafing or TripAdvisor, that already have a lot of information about sites, the restaurants?
I never really aspired to have the site be like this magnificent hub. I think it's just a driver and a support system for us to house content. It's going to have, the only articles that we create is, X, awesome X. A number, awesome, whatever we get, festivals, food, this or that. And that's really all that content's going to be. It's a place where we house all the videos that we create so people go check it out. If we did a restaurant review, it connects to Urban Spoon, people can go there. But, I just wanted it to be something, we only posted 2 articles in February to test it out, and we had 15,000 visitors to the site. So we're able to drive a ton of content very quickly. So now when we create content, we want to make sure that it encompasses all the areas so I can promote it on all the pages. So I think right out of the gates when we're stockpiling content right now, so we're never scrambling. Right when we start that, I'd like to say next month, it's probably going to be July, I think we'll be at 100,000+ visitors a month, 30 days. Turn it back. Sorry.
So my comment's a little bit dated, so excuse me if it, hopefully it still applies. My wife and I always have an issue with, you know, it's Tuesday night, what the heck's going on? The different places that are available, it's like, you know, nothing seems to be complete out there as far as events. You know, if I know it's happening and Creative Loafing doesn't know it's happening, then there's kind of a problem. Are you doing anything?
So with that, I mean, one of the initial thoughts that we had is we can be a listing for events. Like that would take me so much time, it would take the interns so much time, but I figured out the way to do it is I've just discovered all of the sites that are doing a great job for their little pocket communities, and I just, when you click on events, it just shows all the different communities and a link to the pages that have all their events.
Maybe that's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
But so you've vetted other sites that are already doing that work.
Yeah, I mean, I Love the Bird does a great job posting tons of events. Why am I going to try to recreate the wheel and
Fair
fill our
enough.
site with
But
events for
I Love
hours?
the Bird
and
doesn't plug for Dunedin.
Exactly.
So,
So
okay,
there's
good.
another link for Dunedin. Go find all the stuff going on in downtown
Good
Huntington.
answer. Good answer.
Are you basically aggregating content using place branding and promotion? That's what it sounds like to me.
The only I wouldn't even say we're aggregating the content. I'm not porting any of that into our site. I just basically have a link directly to go to their site. You know, if you want to find stuff going on in downtown St. Pete or Tarpon Springs, here's the link to the site. Go enjoy it there. They're doing a great job. I'm not trying to get people to stop participating with what their communities are doing and trying to promote. We're just helping to be the advocate because our reach will grow bigger, get them over there. All the content we'll create, it'll be original content from us, and then just reference other people.
I have a couple questions. I'm on your site, on your Facebook page. Are you trying to build a list, an email list at all, or is it purely Facebook?
No, it's definitely development of the email list too. So we're trying to at one point run contests every week on every page. Stupid idea. Now we're doing it maybe once a month or once every other month, make it a big deal. You know, $500, $1,000 giveaway. We just did the giveaway. I don't know if you're on a Tampa Bay one where the video is, but we just did a giveaway with both of the CVBs where people could win. Out-of-state people can win a flight, 2 days in Tampa, 2 days in St. Pete, a bunch of gift certificates, and local people could win like $500 in gift cards for stuff.
Yeah, you put a call to action on your page, either a call to action to either be a sponsor or a call to action to be on the list or on the email list.
I should put it on there. I haven't been doing regular emails, so I didn't want people like opt in and then get something like 4 months later. I want to kind of get that
Curious
secured,
how
but
you're- yeah.
yeah, we've got around 5,000 names right now and emails that we'll communicate with once a month or so, just letting them know cool stuff in the area.
What's the process with the articles? I know a lot of small businesses obviously aren't good with writing, marketing themselves. And what kind of editorial overview do they have before something's published?
Well, you know, we write short little blurbs. When I do videos, I mean, if you want to see any of them, go on the pages, but I do all of the videos on our phone. I do it right there, I edit it right there, and I show it to them. When you show up and you tell the business, hey, I'm going to come shoot a video, you show up with the phone, they look at you like you're an idiot, and then when you leave, you show them the video you made while you're sitting there, it's like, holy crap, you just did this whole thing right now? So that's, you know, the video has the impressive side of it. Once we do that, most of them don't really care so much about what we're writing. I do send it over, or if they see it, they didn't read it, and they, hey, can you tweak this? Like Postcard Inn didn't want us to reference them more in like a party atmosphere. They wanted to be vacationing commuter atmosphere. So, you know, we give them whatever they change these words. Okay. Ask for forgiveness instead of permission. It takes less time.
Do you have guidelines of what you'll say is awesome? Or what you'll say from?
Whatever we think is awesome.
If Walmart gave you $1 million?
No, I want to keep it local. I'm not really interested in like what big box things are happening. I mean, if there was like, you know, a Trader Joe's moving down the street or something like that, we might like, hey, Trader Joe's is coming down the street. And, you know, we figured out where different controversial stuff can accidentally get us. When the zoo, or not the zoo, when the circus came to town last year, my wife was like, I want to go see, they were walking the elephants from the train station to the forum, and like, people flipped. I was just like, I'm sorry, there's like, oh.
Find what I saw in a restaurant 6 months ago. Are you looking at any sort of global slowdown that the director of the businesses are involved with your site? And if not, I can speak about that.
I think it's a great idea. I think we're a little bit away from that, just from an investment side of it and from a functionality side, because I think there's a lot of apps, just like you said before, like the TripAdvisor apps and Urban Spoon apps. There's so many people plugging into their little, niches. How can we do something that's not just recreating it? When I try to look at how we want to evolve and move into any spaces, is there already somebody doing this fairly well? Do we have to recreate it, or can I just source it over to them and let them deal with it? The Chamber's kind of had a beginning discussions about potentially some kind of a cool app that, like, when you're walking, it'll tell you different things that are going on. So just being a part of those kind of conversations, I think it's a really cool idea. I don't know if it's today, right now, would be some direction that we're really ready to spearhead, because it's a big undertaking.
We've got an app that you might be interested in. We could put a mobile directory for all 6 of those communities together.
Perfect. Well, there we go. So finding great people that already have it going on.
I know you touched on this, but just to clear it up, how, if I'm a local business, other than giving you $17 a month, do I get onto that site? How do I become one of the 7 most awesome restaurants or bars?
Perfect question. So what we do on a regular basis, on a monthly basis with all of our sponsors, is we send out an email. We say, here's what we're working on this month. We're going to do these 4 or 5 articles. If your business fits into any of these and you want us to participate, let us know. We'll make sure that you're included with it. If you have an idea or a concept that you think would be great content for us to get on for the following month, let us know. And kind of, I'm fortunate that I've consistently surrounded myself with people who just love what I'm doing, that just love to, they get free access to concerts and venues and this and that. So I haven't necessarily had to come out a bunch of money for some of the writers I've had, but I just kind of, who wants to go to these places? Put your name next to it. They know what they have to write. They know the pictures they have to take. But it just says, if anything else you want to promote in that email. So if you have like a cool event or something going on this month, you say, Joe, can you guys possibly come out, shoot some pictures, do a video or something? We can get it on the calendar, we're able to put it on there. And I get that there's a time limitation to that in the long run, but at this point, just keep flooding it, keep doing it. And fortunately, none of the interns or the staff people complain about free food and free concerts. So
Is that just to follow, is that just for public events? If I have a service company or something like that, can you put out a press release or link into any of that?
I find that those don't get as much engagement. I try to make it's light, fluffy, fun stuff, because I want whatever we post to really get it. I want it, 1, to benefit the business, but 2, I want it to be something that the audience is going to care about. I've had businesses that are going to have, a grand opening, or like a place that maybe doesn't necessarily fall into, like in Brandon, they wanted me to do one. I don't know if our audience is the best for that right now. I haven't built a Brandon page yet. Tampa Bay kind of has some, but I just don't. I'm always open to conversations and figuring out, is there a way for our community to participate and benefit from it, and benefit the company as well. So we chat a little bit more afterwards if that's specifics.
I was hoping you could give the idea. Come on.
I treat every one of the sponsors as like, listen, I'm consulting with them. I want to make sure that they feel that they are getting the value of that $17. It sounds silly, but it's just like, I want them to feel good about it. I want them to have the testimonial that, everybody said that they did something good, they created. Usually when you create a video, no one has anything to say the rest of the time, so it's our salesman right there.
I want to follow up on a question that was posed before, which started with it's Tuesday night and we don't know what to do with Tampa Bay. And I'm disappointed. What I heard you say was, we'll link you to all these other calendars. That's what you said, right? That seems like a prime spot for you. That isn't the technology available that you could go out and crawl those other sites and aggregate that back together in a more friendly manner for me, so I can say, I'm looking for a music thing to do tonight. It's Tuesday night, and you could lay those out for me. Say, look at this awesome music community, or I want to do an arts thing tonight. Here's Tampa Bay's awesome arts tonight. Because if you tell me, here's links to 8 other sites, No, I'm gonna turn the TV on and stay home.
The answer is yes, we did, we were looking into different softwares that would do a lot of the aggregation. From just a cost standpoint and the constant communication we kept having to have to like filter out other events. Two of the companies that we're looking into also use it as like a promotion tool, saying like they're selling the events that are on there to kind of promote for everybody. So if you wanted to set up a site for Tampa Bay, I'm paying them to aggregate all this information. Now those events are part of their system. You can then have access to that on your system too, and it didn't optimize anything better for us. I 100% agree. If I was able to have something that was like financially feasible, if I didn't have to spend like $1,000 a month trying to have all those things aggregated, I would definitely look a little bit more into it. It's something that I'm not opposed to adding on as we consistently grow and drive the traffic. But at this point, it's a little bit cost prohibitive, and it's just massively time consuming. And the companies that I've spoken with, there's just so many events. And what are the filters you put on it? You've got, TBO, that's got pages and pages of stuff. So there are all these little filtering. It's a lot of, it's a big project, and it's something that at this point I don't know if we're able to take on from the financial side of it. But in the long run, I would love to explore it a little more deeply.
Just to follow up on that, the highway to ruin is where the corpses and companies can try.
What we're good at, work on that.
It's a startup meeting that just always fails. It's like selling textbooks online. Every dude, who took a JavaScript class
Yeah.
in college, next thing, I was selling textbooks. Never.
Somebody had a question?
Do you have a sales and growth plan? Do you have a salesperson in place or a process for that?
I have a process. I absolutely have a process for it. It's worked very well. The intern thing's kind of working where they're helping manage it. I'm kind of the one that's been running around doing the sales. I have someone who's a part of an organization I was just gone through, Tampa Connections. I'm an alumni for that, and she does a lot of social stuff. I think that she might be a good fit. I'm gonna kind of put the idea out to her and see what her thoughts are. And the structure that we worked from the compensation side was a lot of small kind of just something that there's a mini base. Again, it's not a ton of money, but more commission style to where if they sold $17, we're splitting it 50-50 and they're gonna get that. The way I also wanted to structure that from like the intern side was creating in one, I wanted them to develop a residual income. So every month that they're getting, the sponsors are on the books, they're getting paid. And then when they, I'm not naive enough to think they're gonna stay with me forever, maybe they will, but if they did choose to leave, I would still give them 50% of whatever they were getting. So they were building something for the long term and understanding that working with the interns, I was like, I'm focused on building residual streams of income, doing less work. So I just figured out how to get fairly decent at it. If I can train them and help them do that too, that's another idea. If you have ideas or think of somebody that might want to participate with our group, please let me know. That'd be another great one.
So Joe, how can we as a community help you grow your?
Go like all of our pages. Go share the video. It would be really wonderful. We worked so hard on that. It took 90 days. It's everywhere from Wikiwashi to the Skyway, and it's just everything you can find that jam into 2.5 minutes. Connections with any community officials, leaders, Edwards Group, people that you believe would see value in how we're doing it, what we're doing. As you can see, the numbers that we work with are not very substantial as far as even what we're investing in. The results I think we get are substantial in comparison. So I'm open to all ideas and connections, local businesses. If you have a favorite local eatery of some sort, we'd love. Food is obviously a place that I focus because it's fun and I like to eat, and it's easy to create videos for them. But local businesses too, hair salons, nail salons, all of my female interns love those. I did get my head shaved at the Shave Cave over in Sundial the first semester. That was an excellent experience. But thank you so much for having me out. I really appreciate it.
Joe Malinowski is awesome. Despite what the name of the site is. So I'm going to talk really slow because we got another few minutes to kill here. No, I'm just kidding. You guys can go whenever you want. I just want to touch on a couple events we've got coming up tonight. Life Reimagined, the author Chris Farrell will be at the Pointer Institute to talk about money and other such things. I think Walking in the door there is Monica Stanchula, who can explain to you if you have any questions about that event. Like Reimagine. The weekend is next weekend. That's a bunch of nerds go to the beach and eat pizza and get drunk. It's a ton of fun. Startup Surge coming up. That's at Tampa Bay Wave. That's a huge all-day event where a number of mentors and things get together to help startups. Look for that information in our email. If you have a startup, it's a really, really great opportunity to get expert advice. Product Hunt Tampa Bay is also coming up. I actually don't know much about that. Marianne, what is Product Hunt Tampa Bay?
Product Hunt is a website where you can go find daily products, mainly all tech focused, but sometimes outside of that. So it's an aggregated site all about products in the area. So this is their second meetup that they've done. And it's just to get around, talk about products, make connections. So good startup event for anyone on the tech side of the house.
And then coming up, we're holding an event starting on the 10th of June at Pinellas Technical College called the Ice House Entrepreneurship Program. It's based on a Pulitzer Prize winning book called Who Owns the Ice House? It's got an entrepreneurial mindset. How do you start a business without necessarily investment capital? How do you think like an entrepreneur? How do you validate your product? Things like that. That's a program based out of the Entrepreneurial Learning Institute of the Kauffman Foundation. We really love the curriculum. We're excited for that one coming up. Other than that, you all know the deal. Please bring us your presenters. Anybody you think would be interesting up here, people who are adding to the community and building great things here. We would appreciate that. Look out for the emails. If you're not getting them, there's a sign-in sheet by the door there. If it is not legible, we will not be able to add it. So if you're not getting those emails, please see Carly and find out why. For that, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you much. Have a great rest of the day.